Ah, Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes. We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Mueller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
You call these grits?
You have the address?
It's the alley off Aliso between Los Angeles and Alameda.
You're kidding. The next one will be opposite Central Station.
Count yourself lucky, fellas. Most guys would kill to land a case so close to their desk.
Yeah. It means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
KGB L.A Century, and a citizen reports a man with a gun on Grand between 4th and 5th. Any Century unit identify.
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Brothers, Pinker?
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
Lacerations on the neck would indicate a great deal of force.
Only 21 years old. But why the library card? Did he want us to find it?
Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails. Kiss the blood, BD. The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on somebody else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered.
Yeah. We know the M.O. So does every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe, further blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull. Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
If she took a blow to the head like the others, she was probably unconscious when strangled.
May as well follow the trail.
Phelps, you'll want to come and take a look at this.
Antonia. Huh, same as the library card.
I need to get back to it, Phelps.
I'll take the pictures. You do whatever the hell it is you do.
Proximity to the scene, plus the bloodstains. No way is this coincidence.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
House keys, strung up like bait on a hook. It's got to be a code or a cipher.
You think he's trying to lead us somewhere? Probably all the way to City Hall, that brazen son of a bitch.
Empty. Where is all of this meant to be taking us?
He clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us. There you go, Phelps. You got a new M.O. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident. enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her.
Trail points up.
Pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance? Looks as though the killer was decorating with this. Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown.
It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway. But doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
He's got a confession. And, you know, there's ways of getting it.
I'm sure.
Any Central Unit, Car 16L reports a possible jumper at 8th and Hope. The Methodist Church unit to handle code 2 identify.
It's against the rules to drive like this without a siren. Jesus, Phelps!
Any Central Unit, Car 16L reports a possible jumper at 8th and Hope. The Methodist Church unit to handle code 2 identify.
11 kit.
I'll do it! So help me God, I'll jump!
You need to get up there.
Let me do the talking, Detective. I know a ton of this psychology stuff. You take the back alley and find a way up there.
Come on, Phelps, let's get moving.
You jumping? Make sure you warn me before you do.
Cops.
I will!
Gotta be something big, right?
Wait, what?
You think this thing can hold you, Rusty?
I'll bring you down with me, Phelps. Come on then, Lightfoot.
No offense, but I don't want you splashed on my shoes.
Are you crazy? What are you trying to do?
I remember my first jumper.
This what you wanted?
I can't do it. I'll come quietly. I need some help. Please. You gotta get me some help.
You're a danger to yourself and to others.
Phelps! Cole!
This officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. A 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3. Identify.
Breathe, Phelps. Breathe, damn it!
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio?
Wait just a moment! I'm sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps and Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPente, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. You look at that? Someone's turned the place over.
Okay, we have an address. The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. A smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
So someone broke in using this thing instead of a crowbar. Wonder where it was taken from. We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best. Antonia was so innocent, Detective. Catch this killer. Antonia was so innocent, Detective. Catch this killer.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife that served me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17. He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I have no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
A nosy old hag like you knows everything about the people who live under her roof. Where did she go?
I think she went to a bar. She's been drinking quite a lot lately.
This bar have a name?
El Dorado Bar. It's a Latino place on North Los Angeles Street.
That's only a couple of blocks from where we found the body.
You've had a break-in?
No. That can't be true.
You're being economical with the truth, Mrs. Lepenti. What do you have to hide?
I have no idea what you are talking about.
So Antonia lost her keys and used an iron bar to jimmy the back window?
I heard a noise in the early hours of the morning. I thought it might be a raccoon at the milk bottles. It'd be very bad for business if this news got out. I have a reputation to protect.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet.
In her wedding photo, she's displaying a charm bracelet.
That thing? She never wore it. He gave it to her. She always kept it in that wooden jewelry box.
Thanks, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
Pay a call to that husband of hers. Lock him up and throw away the key.
We can either front Angel, seeing as the finger's pointing right at him, or we could check out the El Dorado bar.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? What another accommodation.
Wait just a moment! Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment.
Antonia was so innocent, detective. Catch this killer.
Hey, Cole, get moving. Will you look at that? Someone's turned the place over.
charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. The smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
So someone broke in using this thing instead of a crowbar. Wonder where it was taken from. We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife to serve me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17. He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I have no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
A nosy old hag like you knows everything about the people who live under her roof. Where did she go?
I think she went to a bar. She's been drinking quite a lot lately.
This bar have a name?
El Dorado Bar. It's a Latino place on North Los Angeles Street.
That's only a couple of blocks from where we found the body.
You've had a break-in?
No. That can't be true.
You're being economical with the truth, Mrs. Lepenti. What do you have to hide?
I have no idea what you are talking about.
So Antonia lost her keys and used an iron bar to jimmy the back window?
I heard a noise in the early hours of the morning. I thought it might be a raccoon at the milk bottles. It'd be very bad for business if this news got out. I have a reputation to protect. I'm sorry, but if you're done, I have a house to clean.
What are we waiting
You
for?
owe it to Antonia to hear me out.
Okay, we have an address. Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet.
In her wedding photo, she's displaying a charm bracelet.
That thing? She never wore it. He gave it to her. She always kept it in that wooden jewelry box.
Thanks, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
Pay a call to that husband of hers. Lock him up and throw away the key.
We can either front Angel, seeing as the finger's pointing right at him, or we could check out. The Eldorado bar.
A nosy old hag? Ah! And I thought I was coming on strong with the ex-wives line.
Sometimes you have to be firm to get the information you need.
God damn it, ain't that the truth?
You don't think it's strange that all these murders are happening to girls who've been out drinking?
No. A broad drinks, she gets a bit tight, she starts mouthing off. This leads to that, and she ends up in an alleyway. It's a sad story, but this town's seen it play out 1,000 times.
Why don't you want to see a connection here?
Because there are perfectly good real-life suspects for every one of these murders. We don't need to go looking for the monster under the bed.
Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I've been through 3 of those. No big deal. After a while, you just numb yourself to the experience.
But Angel, he's a young Latino man. It would hurt his sense of who he is. He'd see himself as a failure, a woman taking control over his life.
Then she fronts him and he snaps. Works for me. That makes Angel a killer as well as a piece of shit.
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. What did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
Say, honey, what time did you get off waiting table? My eggs were running.
Divorce papers? Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was going to show him. You waiting for someone?
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. The temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Where did she go? Give me something or the LAPD will start getting interested in this place.
Take it easy. She wanted a cab, okay? And my phone was out of order. The closest one I knew was at the fruit market across the street, so I suggested she try there. She seemed reluctant.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was going to serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared. And the drink was for Dutch courage.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman? What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
I think he's a bit of a ganguero, but treats me nice.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
Search around. If Antonia was as messed up as we hear, maybe she left physical evidence as well as witnesses.
I hear you are very kind to animals, so please, give that face back to the gorilla. You ought to meet Joe's buddy. He's nice. Really.
The eggs running.
How's your tuna fish salad? With affiliates in Los Angeles, California, New York,
and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is American Century Broadcasting. Known radio singers and orchestras are heard here on KTI.
The ACD Network presents National News from Washington.
In the nation's capital, railroad officials, screenwriters, and critics accompany Miss Anne Blythe of Hollywood as she goes aboard the George Washington for the first motion picture premiere on rails. Queen Unit Diner serves 2 useful purposes. Eating is...
Shut. Great. We'll need to come back later, Phelps. Maybe somebody here saw Antonia the night she died.
Word in traveling luxury. Another step in the campaign to modernize American railroad. You don't have to miss that picture you wanted to see, nor your favorite star.
How about we drop in on the husband instead? See if your gut is right.
I'll take a bar over a husband every day of the week. Just go easy, Phelps.
Watch where you're driving, you maniac.
Give me a break.
I know what I'm doing.
He's good looking for a policeman.
Maldonado is in apartment 304.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got a hunter.
I don't want no trouble, Steve. I got nothing to say to you.
This is going to end in tears.
Damn. They got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no.
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, God damn it! You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place a going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
What do you want?
LAPD, we're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
No good. There's nobody here.
You think there's good in everybody? You haven't met?
Hey, sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD. Were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello?
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
I kept thinking you were going to call that one a nosy old hag, too, Phelps. Well-executed restraint.
I'm executing restraint right now, Finbar. This will take some explaining. Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place.
The El Dorado must be a family favorite.
Was that all you needed, Detective?
I know nothing more about their business.
Haven't we talked enough already?
That's the cop from the newspaper.
KTI reminds you a great job awaits you in the United States Army. Enlist now at your nearest U.S. Army recruiting station. Starting salaries at $75 per month.
Let's turn, shall we, during this brief intermission to an interesting situation. You wake up in the morning feeling weak. It could be a deficiency of iron. Iron you need for healthy blood and bones. That's why it's time to rise and shine. Yes, Rise and Shine Yeast keeps your body physically fit. Your body requires iron daily. And what better way to give you the iron you need than Rise and Shine Yeast in your breads and cakes? Rise and Shine Yeast
Slow and steady, come on!
Physician studies show 3 out of 4 women lack sufficient iron. If you're losing weight, feeling run down, weak, or easily upset, get the vigor and pep you need by using Rise and Shine Yeast and by taking Rise and Shine Yeast tablet supplements. It helps regain strength and needed pounds to feel and do your best. Go to your grocer or druggist and say,
Rise and shine, please.
we now return you to regular programming.
That driver's terrible.
honey, what time do you get off waiting tables?
You hear him.
Where's that
KTI,
goddamn waitress?
Big Joe Turner.
You want a tip? Refill my coffee next time, honey.
Sam is taking me to Palm Springs for the weekend.
You're gonna see your married man again?
An Englishman and an Irishman and a Scotsman walk into the bar. Bartender looks up and says, "What is that, Joe?"
You hear him in musical films.
Sir, do you work here?
Sorry, pal, just making deliveries.
From where?
Just Pig Fruit Market across the street.
A fruit market delivers here?
Yeah, sure does. The Mexes love a little slice with their tequila.
We found a crate a lot like the ones you're wheeling there, except it was filled with booze. You know anything about that?
What? No, we deliver all over the place, officer. No telling where the boxes end up. Excuse me, I have to get on with this.
Fine, thanks.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
Do you mind if I get back to my bar?
Has that just been paid look about him?
That's my desire.
Keep talking. Someday you'll say something intelligent.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Message from Captain Donnelly, Detective. Your presence is requested urgently at Central Station. A new letter from the Dahlia killer has been found.
Thanks. Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
Is KTI
These letters?
Radio.
Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
Now we sent another.
I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. Have you seen the body? Fucking cased his nozzle way into the guts. How? Every prom queen from every fucking hick town in America turns up here. Where do they end up? Gutted in the fucking sidewalk.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
That bum took a swipe at me. I put him down with my sap.
Guy gave his wife a tap. I'd say all's fair in love and war.
I survived the war for this?
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab.
The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all the spares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and typed from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case. Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
That's why we called you in.
You think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nutjob's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley? Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finnis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
A nice thing about egotists, they don't talk about other people.
Hey, fuck you, asshole!
That broad has socks in it.
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her. Quit staring at me like that.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe? She didn't stay long.
You're lying, Angel. You went after her. I think you killed her.
You're out of your mind. My brother will tell you I was at home.
We have a witness who confirms that you were arguing, that your wife ran out, that you followed her and didn't come back.
I know this looks bad, but it's not true. We argued, all right, but she went out and I went out after her and she jumped in a car on the corner.
There was a car waiting for her? Can you describe the driver?
Not the driver. It was too dark. But the car, it was a brown Ford coupe.
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
I think you killed her, stripped the body of jewelry, and then went back to her apartment for the bracelet.
You should get a better hat. The sun is getting to your head. I've told you the truth. You don't believe me? You can go to hell.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
I don't believe you, Angel. She'd been granted a decree nisi. She pushed you too far, and you lashed out.
I told you. I wouldn't accept a divorce.
The judge had set a date. You were going to be paraded in front of the whole city for your cruelty to her, Angel.
Antonia. Oh, Jesus. She came in drunk, out of her mind. She doesn't normally drink. She was looking around in her bag. Said she wanted to serve me papers. Me, her own husband. So I slapped her down. And she ran out. That's the truth.
What size shoe do you wear, Angel?
Size 8. What difference does that make?
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
Angel, I'm not going to waste any more time on this. Give me something, or I'm going to have you charged.
My brother, Ippolito, he said some bad things about Antonia last night. So I had to sock him one. We got into it.
Keep talking.
She said she came from the El Dorado bar.
And?
It's not one of my places. We used to buy fruit at the market down the street. But the creep there was always running his eyes all over my wife.
What's the name of this fruit market?
Just picked fruit. Ord Street downtown.
One last question, Angel. Do the words kiss the blood mean anything to you?
No. Sounds sick to me.
You're not in the clear by any means, Angel. You're going back into a cell. You should think about whether you have anything else you need to share with us.
I need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Mouthpiece were stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
What's your read on Maldonado? I still like him for it. Seriously, that line about the guy at the fruit market making eyes at his woman? We'll get to the market, and the guy behind the counter will tell us he saw Angel drag his old lady off into the night. This case will be shut like all the others.
Bobby Sock, baby. I've got to let you go. Bobby Sock, baby. I've got to let you go. You got a head full of nothing. Let's stay.
Are you working Friday night? We should go out afterwards.
Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask? Hey, maybe you got time to stand around, Copper. I don't.
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She hadn't been back until last night.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Hey, don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh.
Are you working Friday night? We should go out.
No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
I got a call back for that universal force line.
Why cut someone who's already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. Must have seen it during the war.
Just don't know how to dance to bebop.
This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Clem! God damn it, get after him, Cole. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy. Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect. Phelps, you gotta get me closer. Hit him, Cole. Spin him out. I'll try to shoot out his tire. Wish me luck.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Outstanding job on this case, gentlemen. The poor woman can now rest in peace. I'll pay the fiend a personal visit myself and remind him that crime in this city does not go unpunished. When they finish with him at the receiving hospital, we'll have him up before the grand jury. I have a meeting this afternoon with the mayor lads. I'll be sure to mention your names. Now, on your way.
Why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do it then. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads.
How can we fail, Skip, with the Shadow leading the show?
Who the fuck is a Shadow?
Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming.
You're sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
Fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Yeah, Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to think.
I want to make homicide. You know you
Greetings from sunny California. When's it gonna stop?
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
I know, Phelps, all these arrests and the racket didn't even up the case. You know I'm turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows make it the man. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make it for the game. That guy there will lead us up.
I'm steeling myself for what I'm about to see.
That'll just be another dead body, Cole. You're used to seeing it. You're the gig when you work in homicide, Phelps.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body? Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries?
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
Catch all the good ones, Phelps.
No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene. Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo. I think I should get back to my cleaning.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks for your help.
think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, I guess we ought.
Where's my wife? Nobody cares about me. I took a
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. You know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here.
Look at these people.
We should follow the lead. These guys can wait. At least the rain stopped. We can change back into those white bucks now. What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
I don't need this. I wish I could afford that.
Are you drunk, mister, or you just cracked?
Hey, this isn't New York.
Phelps, leave him be. What's your beef with this guy, Phelps? Phelps, leave him be.
I ain't had any real chow in a week.
What's your beef with this guy, Phelps? Phelps, leave him be. What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
I don't need this. Ooh, I wish
What
I could
did I
afford
do?
that.
Are you drunk, mister, or you just cracked?
Let the guy from the paper.
No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow.
Can't be the same guy who's the same, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?